Hi everyone, welcome to Tonic Studios here at Hedgehog Hollow. Welcome if you're new here, or welcome back if you join us every single week. My name's Alexandra, and every week we have exclusive savings for you, some fun hints and tips. We have some giveaways for you, all sorts of great things going on. So if you joined me on YouTube a couple of seconds ago and you just got the reboot of an iMac, it wasn't technical difficulties. We were just testing the sound and I pressed the wrong button, but we then pressed the right button. So we're now with you. So welcome back. Tonight we are going to be talking about Gilding Flakes. We also have an extra special offer for you. We have a flash sale going on until the end of the month on both the US Tonic Studio site and the UK/worldwide site. We have 15% off the entire store, and it is off everything. The only exclusions are the tonic kits and gift cards. But if you're spending a gift card, it's included. It's only if you are buying a gift card that it's excluded. So you can get 15% off if you are watching on YouTube. You want to hit that link in the bottom right-hand corner. You might have to expand the arrow if you are on a mobile device. But there are links there, and the coupon code is already embedded in the links for you. Click the store that you want to get to. If you are watching on Facebook, I'm going to do my air hostess. It might be above me, below me, beside me, but you'll see those links over there. You're also, whichever platform you're watching on, you're going to see a nomination link. The nominations are open for the Crafts Beautiful 2020 Awards, and we would love if you nominated Tonic Studios /Hedgehog Hollow /Alexandra Stapleton Smith for any of the awards. There's favorite stamp company, favorite die company, favorite influencer, favorite blog, favorite YouTube channel, all of those things on there, and we'd love if you nominated us. I think it's pretty much the last week to enter. And next week, I'm going to be in Chicago. So Greg will be with you here only on YouTube for a premiere. I will put up a link on the Tonic Studios USA Facebook page. But we will have a fun premiere for you. And it will be a reveal of a brand new product. So there's a little teaser for you. So you'll want to make sure you are joining him for that Tonic YouTube premiere. So there's something fun coming up for you. So that's all going on, and of course we have some fun things for you tonight. We're going to be talking about Gilding Flakes. I've got some of my tips for low mess working with Gilding Flakes, and of course you can get 15% off the store until May 31st midnight EST. Those links will be in the description for you until then. Also, as always, we will have two giveaways, one over on Facebook, one on YouTube. All you have to do is share this video, leave us a comment to let us know that you've shared it, whether that's on Facebook, on your YouTube, on the community pages, in your favorite Facebook group, on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you want to share it, you can share it somewhere, and then you can just let us know. So let's see who is joining us tonight. I can see lots of comments are passing on through. We've got Denise with us, Greg, of course, chatting away. Sarah and Denise and Cynthia and Karen and Terry and Dee and Kim. Linda's here as well. Linda's local to us. She's just north of us. Colleen and Tina. I'm not sure if I already said those names. Laurie's here. Raylene is here. Beverly's here. And over on Facebook, I'm also going to scroll up. We have Becky and Jessica. Greg is also over there.
I'm everywhere.
He is everywhere. Sheena is here. Kat's watching with us as well. Hi, Kat. Kim, and I'm just skipping through. Andre, Carmen is here as well. Carol's here. Someone said the sound went really quiet all of a sudden. Greg, did you fix it?
What, just now?
Yep. Someone said... Where did it go? It was right near the top. Someone said, all of a sudden the sound went really quiet. But I think it's all right because I can hear Greg's sounds just come up. Barbara's here as well with us. So lots of you sharing, lots of you with us. So welcome. So yeah, don't forget that 15% off the store because it's a flash sale just for the next, what are we tonight? We're on the 29th. 29th. You've got tonight, you've got all day tomorrow, and you'll have all day Friday. So yeah, so you'll have until midnight Friday to shop. We'll keep putting some reminders up on the Facebook page, up on Instagram. We'll pop it on the Hedgehog Hollow pages as well. We'll keep reminding you, but yeah, take advantage of that. As I say, it is off everything. Only exclusions are kits and gift cards. It's well worth taking advantage of. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Gilding Flakes. Here we go. So, Gilding Flakes, what are they? So they come in 3 different colours. They come in gold, they come in copper, and they come in silver. And what they really are essentially is just really thin bits of whichever metal you go with. And you can use them in tons of different ways. You can use them through stencils. You can use them on their own. Tonight I'm going to be using a variety of different adhesives. I've grabbed some adhesives out. I've got some pens. I have my deluxe adhesive. I have my funky tape runner here. I'm not going to be using stencils, so I'm going to tell you how you can work with those. We're going to work, of course, on my favourite black velvet cardstock. And we're going to work on my favourite ultra smooth white cardstock here. I've also got some red line tape. I've got some foam pads because there's some really fun things you can do with those. Scissors. Definitely need a surface sweep. It is one of the best tools for working with your Gilding Flakes. I'm also going to say powder deactivator and or dryer sheets. Craft pick can be handy. Tweezers are great to have around. All those kinds of things are really good to have around. So we are going to work on those. Now I keep mine in the jars they come in. Lots of people keep them in Tupperware. If I wasn't doing things for videos and those kinds of things, I would keep mine in Tupperware because having a larger jar to work with, I think is way, way easier. So if you just pop to the dollar store, Poundland, whichever country you're in, go and grab yourself a Tupperware and keep your Gilding Flakes in the Tupperware. It will make your life much, much easier. And I think you'll find it much easier to work with as well. So that would be a top tip from me, is keep them in Tupperware as opposed to the Gilding Flake boxes. But as I say, I do videos, I need them for product photography and things. So I keep them in their little Nuvo boxes. So that's there as well. So I'm also reading your things here. Can you use the Nuvo brush instead of the sweep? Do you mean this brush? Possibly. I'll cover it when we get there, if that's the one you mean. So I'm just making sure we are covering those as well. So we're just going to start with some basic techniques. So let's just start off with the basics. So you open up your Gilding Flakes. Greg is back.
Sorry, I was checking the sound.
So this is what it's like when you open them. They're usually even more full than these. So we're just going to start off with a piece of tape. So it works really well with tape. Tape is a super easy way to work with your Gilding Flakes. So I'm going to use this red line tape. It comes from Tonic. I've linked everything I'm going to be using. If you're watching on YouTube, I've linked it all in the video description for you. And as I say, everything that I'm using is Tonic, so it means you can get 15% off of it. But this is a really, really easy way to use it.
Oh, Fiona's watching from Perth, all the way in Australia.
You've got family in Perth.
I do have family in Perth. I like Perth.
I've never been to Australia.
Oh, it's good.
I don't know if I fancy it. Okay, so you can lay your tape down like this, and then either with your craft pick, or I like these tweezers, you can pick off your piece like that. And then you can start grabbing your pieces. Now, sometimes you'll have layers and layers like this, and you can then just pick pieces off. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different things to think about when you start working with them. So what you do is just lay some of the Gilding Flakes on top like this. You don't really even have to think about it. I mean, you can be pretty, you could literally just dump it on like that. Now, a couple of things to think about, because I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do it. So some people like to really get in there with their fingers like this. You can see there's a lot of layers there. So if you get in there like this and you burnish it with your finger like this, So you're always going to get a more kind of rustic effect. The more layers you put on, the more rustic it's going to be. So if you kind of worked with all these little flakes, you're going to have a more kind of rustic effect. Now this is why I like the surface sweep, because once I've done this part, I just take my surface sweep and it takes off all of my excess. So you can see like that. But if I burnish it with my finger, it goes a little bit more rustic, and it's even more pronounced with the gold than any of the other colours. However, if I want to keep it super glossy, if I take that red tape again, are you trying to convince them that I should go to Australia, Greg?
I was wondering if we should. Australia's cool.
You went for 6 weeks.
4 weeks.
Is that?
Yep.
I thought it was longer.
Yeah, 4 weeks. I went to Perth, Sydney, then up to coast in Queensland, then back to Sydney, and then home via Singapore.
Yeah, let's not go into those stories. It's not really appropriate for family viewing.
That was Bangkok.
Yes, and with his grandma, but we're not going there now. Anyway, so what I'm going to say is this is the difference. If you layer on the layers, again, still don't worry about kind of being precise or anything like that. Again, I'm just trying to pull some pieces out. But rather than burnishing with my finger, if you burnish with your surface sweep, like this, so just brush on with your surface sweep, and if you've got any gaps, again, just fill them in with your surface sweep. And I'll come back to the different types of brushes in a minute. I just kind of want to show you a couple of different ideas and techniques first of all.
Is there any way at all of doing this without making one hell of a mess?
Yes, we're going to get to that too.
Can you have started with that?
No, I'm starting with the basics and then we're going to go work into other stuff. So I'm just kind of... Okay, so this one down here, I used my finger. And if you burnish with your finger, you get a far more muted effect than if you do it with a brush. So if you want a more glossy effect, you want to only work with the brush. If you want a kind of more aged effect, you want to work with your finger. And when I work with the gold in a minute, you'll see there's even more of a difference. The gold goes really burnished when you work with your finger, as opposed to if you work with just a brush. So they're kind of the differences. If I only work with a brush, I'll get a far more glossy effect and kind of more shimmery effect than if I just work with my finger. So that's kind of a rule of thumb with working with the Gilding Flakes. I'm also trying to keep up with all the comments in different places as well. So that's how that kind of works. And the tape's really nice because you can see here how I'm doing this kind of grid pattern. So now we're going to work with a thinner piece of the tape. Someone said you're going to get extra brownie points for clearing this up.
We set out clearing it up.
Okay, so let's talk about clear up as that comment's come up. So there's a couple of different things you can do. So you can see the surface sweep is really, really nice. So some people like working in a cardboard box. I, as you see, don't work that way. But all I do is take my surface sweep and then just sweep it to the edge, pop it into my lid, bang my brush over my bin, and then I just pop my lid on like that. And then to clear up my glass mat, because your glass mat is pretty staticky, is that the word? Dryer sheet or a Swiffer cloth, because Swiffer cloths are really low in static because they pick up dust, as are dryer sheets, and they're way cheaper than Swiffer cloths because you can go and buy a big pack of them from the Dollar Tree.
How much do they cost?
I rolled my eyes as you didn't get to see that. But you can see there, that's pretty easy clear up. Isn't it, Greg?
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
See? Okay, so now we're going to work with the thinner red line tape. So I'm going to find my end again. And again, we'll just layer some pieces on. Oops. And I'm working with those non-stick scissors, the Tim Holtz ones.
Which 15% off, actually.
Yes, so everything is 15% off, the whole store. And that's UK and worldwide. So that, and I've added the 2 different codes in there for you. Are you watching the Facebook and YouTube comments, Greg?
I'm flicking between them. I'm mostly on YouTube.
Do you want my phone for Facebook? Because I can't read both at once. Because I can't read them both at once. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the gold. So again, Greg's going to have to pan down so you can see what I'm doing.
I'm busy.
So with the gold, I think there's a real difference between working with your finger What are you doing, Greg?
Nothing, just responding to comments.
Yeah, but you're responding as me, which is always perturbing. Because you could get into all sorts of trouble. Oh, sugar. I didn't think that through, did I? Okay. So if you don't think it through, you don't take your red liner off before you add your second piece. So this is the other thing, is we never edit out mistakes in our videos.
What have you done? Oh, you forgot to tear the back off, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, plonker.
I mean, when it's live, it's hard to, but even so, we don't edit out the mistakes. There's no magic of television here. So I'm also going to do the same here, where I'm going to do one side just with my brush, and I'm going to do one side just with my finger, so you can kind of see the different effects that you can get. And I'll do this one with that Nuvo brush. So I'll do the top piece here with the Nuvo brush, so you can see. And I'll do the bottom piece with your Surface Suite. And you'll see the difference. And there is a difference, particularly I think with the gold. Here you go, Greg. Do you want to show them when I tidy that up? So this piece I did with the rough brush, this is the soft brush, and that's my finger. And they all look different. Can you remember?
So which is which? No, I've forgotten. The long
So
edge?
this is the rough brush.
Okay.
This is my finger, and then this is the soft brush. So the soft brush is the brightest, and then where my finger is the darkest, which goes this way, and then this is the roughest brush. So depending on how rough your brush is, depends on the brightness or dullness of your gold.
Okay, looks really cool. Catches the light really nicely.
And it would be the same with the silver. I mean, I'm not going to do all of them in the same way, but it just kind of gives you an idea. And the thing I really like about using the line tape is it's just a really nice and easy controlled way of using Gilding Flakes too. You know, you get a nice neat line. It's really easy to put down. It's really quick. And you know, at Christmas you can do gingham, or you can make it look like a present, you know, and then put a piece of ribbon on it and it looks like you've wrapped a card. I just think it's a really neat technique to do. So there's some ideas for you. Any questions, Greg?
No, I think I'm on it.
You answering them really well.
Yeah, I think so.
So something else you can use are your Nuvo glue pens. And your glue pens come in a thick, in a thin, and in a medium. So you can do a thick line, you can do a written line, so you could just write hello, or you could write over a stamped image. You can also stamp out with these pens. I haven't used this one in a while, there we go. Or, which is really fun. So you can use these pens like a glue ink. So you can just go over your image, your stamp, and then you can stamp with it, and then you can gild with it. So that's a really cool thing to do. Or if you stamp out a sentiment, take your fine one, and rather than just write the word hello, which I've done here when Greg pans down, so rather than write the word hello, you could stamp out your sentiment and then just go over the top with the glue pen. And we're just going to put this to the side for a second because we want it to get past this milky stage to the slightly tacky stage. So I'm going to pop it to the side when it gets to that stage. And other things you can use are things like your funky tape runner. So you can put a line of your funky tape down and then you can gild it. Again, if you don't want to use your tear tape, just take a little bit of funky tape. Just like this. And it's nice just to add a little bit of something extra. So if you just want to add some detail onto one of your cards, just add a little bit of gilding. I mean, how easy is that to add that onto the bottom of your card? And you can add it on coloured cardstock. This, of course, is on my favourite black velvet cardstock. And you can see there, it just adds that little bit of glitz and glimmer to a card. So you could do that as a border. You know, you could have a stamped image or a sentiment, and then you could make yourself a pretty border around the edge. You can also use it with your Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. So you can take your adhesive, you know, make yourself a wiggly line, draw around something. The other thing you can do is take your Nuvo Deluxe, take this piece off, just bend it like that, and then take some of your adhesive, pop it onto your glass mat, and use this like a paste. Put it through a stencil with your favourite silicone, what they call, Greg?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Silicone palette knives, spatulas, they're the words I'm going for, spatulas, which I don't have right now because they're in the basement and we were using them spackling at the weekend.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Do you need me to go and get them?
It's fine, Greg just stole them, it's all good. But if you take them, oh look, there's my spares are incoming. So if you take some deluxe adhesive.
The other one.
Thank you. They say they love the way I say adhesive. Adhesive.
Adhesive. Do you emphasise the H or do you not emphasise the H?
I don't know.
Is
Adhesive.
it like Americans when they say vehicle?
Oh, I can't say the way Americans say vehicle.
They're like vehicle.
I can't do it. Anyway, take some Nuvo Deluxe, pop it on your palette area. This one's getting really low.
I can't write comments, pan, drink whiskey all at the same time.
Well, compromise the whiskey.
It's not what you said earlier.
I think it is.
Nope. Not according to the written record.
Oh! Yeah, but I wasn't writing that.
Yeah, you were. I think that was you.
And then what you do is you take it on your spatula and then you apply it through your stencil like a paste. And then, of course, you've then created yourself a glue paste. This will then dry slightly tacky. And you can then gild through any stencil that you own because you can use the deluxe adhesive like a paste. And so then you can gild through all of your stencils. It's a really cool thing to do. And I did do a video tutorial, I think it was well over a year ago now, I think when we were still in the basement. So that's how I can kind of time my tutorials as to what room I was in, what backdrop I had.
Well, we're going back in the basement soon.
Yeah, well, okay, basement 1.0.
Yeah, that'll be Studio 3, won't it?
Yeah. So, so you can take your Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, use the silicone spatulas because the glue, of course, won't stick to it and it'll clean off really nicely. And then put it through as a really thin coat through any stencil you have, whatever your favorite stencil is, or a die cut. Of course, you could use it as a stencil. And then you can wait till it goes slightly tacky to the clear point and then add your gilding flakes onto it and then gild it as a background. It looks so pretty. Honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. So that's another way that you can use them. Another thing you can do is take a piece of paper, add the double-sided adhesive paper, which I've got some just right here. I'm just going to grab it. Grab some of the Tonic Craft Perfect double-sided adhesive paper. Stock up, it's 15% off. Stock up on your black velvet. I did earlier today because I've had the coupon since lunchtime. Yes, I did cheat. I'm sorry. But, and I also stocked up on my Ultra Smooth White. So I've got 10 packs of this coming too. Grab some of this, put it onto either your black or your white, and then put it through on your favorite dyes. You know, those beautiful background tonic dyes, again, 15% off, and then peel this off and you can gild on it. So if I take a piece of this and I cut a really bad shape, because I'm not going to be, I was not planning to do this. I would have die cut one had I been planning to do this.
Anything?
Greg, I did my supply list.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. So yes, I had planned this. Thank you very much. And I'd had the coupon since lunchtime, Greg. I've been shopping on your credit card, so
No, that's nothing new.
I'd be careful if I was you. Can you substitute Nuvo for another product? Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive?
I imagine so. Yeah, any glue would work, wouldn't it?
No, not every glue works. You need a glue that goes through like a tacky when dry phase. And not all glues do that. So the Gina K Connect glue does not go through a good gilding phase. Gilding phase. Not many glues do go through a good gilding phase. There is a product called Tacky When Dry, but it always stays tacky. And I have had issues that I put it in an envelope and then it gets stuck in the envelope and doesn't come back out again. But I have kind of found a couple of hacks around that, and I've done videos on how to deal with that. So at the minute, all I've done is taken the double-sided adhesive and I've cut a very rough heart out. So Nuvo Deluxe adhesive works really well for that. The Thermoweb iCraft adhesive works quite well. The Tacky When Dry works quite well. Other than that, I wouldn't suggest trying them. You need something that goes through Tacky When Dry. But in a second, I'm going to show you all of those tonic glue pens. They go through a really nice Tacky When Dry phase. And they have a really long Tacky When Dry phase as well, which is really, really nice. Okay. So, when you have cut your heart out, or you've done a die cut and you've cut it out, you'll have this, you know, paper on top of your piece. You're then going to take your backing paper off. And of course you'll have a sticky area. Now, let's talk about other fun things you can do. You don't just have to gild in one colour. You can gild in multiple colours. And someone's saying, I don't know if the prettiness is worth the mess. You can clear this up really easily. I'm going to show you how quick this is to clear up in a minute, because yes, right now it looks like I'm in a mess, but I promise you Greg's not going to do any clear up this evening.
Yeah, I can promise you that too. What?
I wish you could see his face. Anyway, you can gild in multiple colours. So, you can grab a piece of copper, and you can grab a piece of gold, and you can grab a piece of silver, and an extra piece of copper. And what you can do is get a little piece of Tupperware or a small bowl and mix up a few different flakes of different colours. This one's got a big piece of gold, which I didn't really want to happen, but that's okay. And you see how you can blend colours together. And if you get a piece like this, where you don't really want a big bit of gold, this is what I do, is I take my Tacky When Dry glue pen, and I grab my heat gun, because I'm all about faking it till I make it. And I'll grab my other colours, and I'll grab small pieces, just like this. And I'll grab a small piece of silver, and I'll just kind of tear them up a little bit, and I'll just start pressing those on. And you see how that just breaks up that big bit of gold I had? Well, now that big bit of gold has a bit of silver in it, and I don't want to add more gold back in, I want to add some copper in. So now that big bit of gold is broken up with some copper and silver. So if you do end up with a big bit of a colour you don't want, just grab your Nuvo glue pen, oops, and don't have glue on your finger, and then you can just get rid of it. Now if I had my sand eraser, I can get rid of this. You see where I had the glue on my finger? And I ended up with a big bit of gilding. If you end up with some glue residue and some gilding around the edge, take your sand eraser and you can get rid of that around the edge. Greg wants it.
I thought I'd hold it up a bit closer so you can see it clearly. There you go. So you've got like multiple different colours in there with a keen edge.
Yeah. So yeah, a nice sand eraser around the edge will give you a nice crisp edge. What camera is it you use, Greg? Greg uses a Canon 5D.
5D Mark IV.
Yes. 5D Mark IV with what lens?
The 24 to 105 f4 LIS USM.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the lenses we use. We have a collection.
Don't cough, don't sneeze. That's one thing I'm going to say. Someone said they're not using them anytime soon because they have to have a fan on while crafting because it's really hot. Yeah, don't have a fan on. Not a good idea. As I say, if I wasn't doing, videos and those kinds of things, I would store mine in the Tupperware because it is way, way easier. Just go to Dollar Tree, buy a piece of cheap Tupperware like this kind of size box. I don't know what that is.
About 6 by 4 inches.
Yeah, that kind of size. And it's way, way easier to work with. That's what I would suggest doing. But that's another technique you can do. Also, our strips are starting to come. So you see how it's gone from that milky stage to that clear-ish stage? Can you see that, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it started out like. This one hasn't quite dried, but these two have. So they've gone to that glossy stage. They are ready to be gilded. So again, I can grab a little bit of gold, so I can have a gold hello. And then on this one, I can add maybe a little bit of copper too. We've got really big flakes in these ones. So, and as I say, I'm going to show you how to do the clear up too. Because I know that doing this. The other thing you can do is work in a splat box or an old like Amazon box. And then it's super easy clear up. But I do have those top tips. But look at that. Isn't that cool? And then if I grab my... It really is worth getting the surface sweep too because it just takes all of those little bits off. There you go. It is really, really pretty too. So you can see that as well. Someone said it would end up in their cat's tails. That's funny.
You'll be a very expensive looking cat.
Very upmarket cat. So you can see that. So that piece wasn't ready. And that's what you would end up with. You just end up smearing it. So you want to make sure it gets to that clear stage because once you get to that clear stage, it won't run like this did all over the place. But you can see how pretty that hello looks. So you can see how that looks. Okay, so one final idea for you, and then I'm going to show you the very important part of how you reduce this mess down and clear it up, because I know it's the important part.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that bit.
Now, something else you can do first of all is use your powder deactivator. So before you start, powder deactivate, which is just the same tool that you use for your heat embossing. So just go over it first like this. You will find it makes a difference. Either use that or grab your dryer sheets. I thought I had one on the go. Maybe I didn't.
You did, but I don't know what happened to it.
No, neither
Perhaps it
do
went
I.
in the bin.
That's why I buy them from Dollar Tree. And buy...
How much did it cost?
buy the unscented ones. Because the scented ones leave residue on your dark cardstocks. The unscented ones do not. So... My daughter's boyfriend said, I really feel part of your family and that's so nice. He said I had glitter in my beard at work. That's so funny. hilarious. Okay, so yeah, so use dryer sheets and buy the unscented ones. That's so funny. How are the Facebook comments coming along, Greg? I can't see those because you've got my phone.
Oh yeah. Also, watching. Hey, there's somebody else from Perth, Australia.
Oh, that's cool.
Love the products, great ideas. Sorry I'm late. Beautiful. Ooh, is that rose gold?
So actually it's copper, but you can mix it and create all sorts of fun colours. The other thing you can do, which is a really, really cool technique, and I like doing this particularly with the silver, is if you silver gild something, because when you gild it, I don't really know which one shows it best. Probably this one. If Greg shows you this one close up. If you silver gild something, you see that one close up? You can then alcohol ink over the top of it and you keep all of that original texture.
We didn't put any silver in this one.
No, I know, but...
If it was silver, you could alcohol on it and it looks awesome.
Well, you can alcohol on any of them, but you see that texture that you've got in there? You see like the crackly texture? That comes more going for the texture than the colour. But yeah, you keep all of that texture and you can add some really fun colours over the top because it's metal that you've created. And so you created a non-porous surface. So if you do alcohol ink, you do this on Nuvo. I feel a video coming on. You can do some really cool techniques. Maybe I'll add that to my video list for tomorrow. I feel a video coming on. What do you think, Greg?
Sounds good to me. What, Yupo, silver stuff on top and then alcohol ink on top of that?
Mm-hmm. You can do some really...
Once, didn't we? Or maybe we did it but not on camera.
Yeah, I think I was just showing you stuff. So the other thing you can do is if you grab these big foam squares from Tonic, these ones, these are the 25mm square ones, and you can tile them in tons of different ways on your projects. I mean, I'm just doing them on here in a row. So you can kind of do all sorts of fun patterns. And if you look up Patchwork books, you'll be able to find all sorts of fun patterns that you can do with these. Again, 15% off, stock up, so many fun things on there. They'll do, yes, people want videos on that. Okay, we'll add it to the video list.
Yeah, a few people asking for videos.
Yeah, it's a really fun technique to do.
Can you use anything to burnish it flatter? Flatter than what? I thought your finger got it flat, didn't it?
Yeah,
so...
your finger's the flattest. Like this. And you'll get it, I mean that is flat. And then once I've done that, then I take my surface sweep. And that just gets rid of any little bits and pieces. And you can really get it flat. You can have texture if you want texture, or you can have it really flat if you want it flat. It's entirely up to you which way you want it. So the other idea that I have, and I really like doing this, is get patchwork books or just find patchwork designs online. Take these larger foam squares, or you can do the small ones if you've got patience. Tile them up on your pieces of paper like this, and then cover them in Gilding Flakes. So I can do a copper one, like this. Do a copper, and then my next one might be, I don't know, gold. Let's use this brush because I want it to be cleaner. And then my next one will be copper again. I don't really want the gold, but it's going to be there. But I could change it because I could just add some Nuvo glue, as we said. So then we copper. Put the big bit back. Ah, stuck to me. There we go. And then our last one would be gold. So you can do all sorts of fun patterns. And you can see I'm working on the glass mat. This is the way to do it. So either work in a splat box or a cardboard box, or work on the glass mat, because I'm going to show you how to clear it up off the glass mat, because it's super, super easy. So you can see there, And then take your, where did I put it? I'm going to put my lids back on now. That's my silver lid. And this is my copper lid. We're going to dust our brushes off. Super simple. Craft pick goes away. Pieces we worked with goes away. Papers go off to the side. Surface sweep. Give it a nice brush. Somewhere I had my, where's my sand eraser? So sand erasers are awesome. There's so many things you can do with this, but I'm just giving it a nice neat nut. And there you go. There's my nice golden copper tiles. You can see. See that?
Very cool.
So you can do all sorts of fun patterns by doing that. Are you talking about Colorado again, Greg?
Yeah. Somebody asked. I didn't even bring it up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about cleanup. So we're going to grab a dryer sheet. My Dollar Tree dryer sheets.
How much are they?
Dollar Tree unscented dryer sheets, because those scented ones are going to leave residue on your dark cardstocks, which you do not want. Okay, so you can see how this, now you could use those Swiffer cloths, but Swiffer cloths are expensive. I'm sorry. Yes, I could have Swiffer cloths, I know. And then I'm going to grab my bin, and the only time I do this is when I've mixed loads of colours. Greg's in shock because I'm actually clearing up my own craft mess.
I know.
But look, this is genuinely really easy. I do not have gilding flakes flying everywhere. So the only bits I now have are the bits that are stuck to my, I mean, this is actually stuck with glue. And so to clear up the bits off stuck with glue, I'm going to use that same dryer sheet, because I would not reuse this dryer sheet because it has gilding flakes on. Again, I can pick up like this. And then I literally have a Nuvo light mister. It's filled with isopropyl alcohol. Greg's eyeing up his surface over there.
Yeah.
It's not going to do any harm, Greg.
Mm.
But look, honestly, this is just so easy. I'm not even using the scraper. I'm not using anything hard. This is just laminate that's on top of my table. It's nothing, you know, special or difficult, or I could do with a bit more isopropyl alcohol in my sprayer, but it's not really anything that anyone can do anything about. And I might need a piece of kitchen towel to finish it off, but we can deal with that. And I do have backup isopropyl alcohol in my little Brutus Monroe doobree. That, of course, being the technical term that crafters and engineers understand. Okay. So now I think, considering how we just maybe a minute ago had gilding flakes everywhere, we now have a clean table. You impressed, Greg?
I am, actually.
So everyone always says gilding flakes make a heck of a mess and it goes everywhere, and I see it for days and I'm clearing it up for days.
It's a lot easier than glitter, actually.
Yeah.
It's easier than glitter.
I mean, yes, you can work in a cardboard box or a splat box, but honestly, work on your glass mat and have yourself some of those unscented dryer sheets. I just have a box of them down here. And these are Giant Eagle ones, but, and I mean, that's how many I've used. And I use my gilding flakes all the time. So they are my top tips. I even have my pink gloves in here. This is my man drawer of stuff. So when I need little bits and pieces, that's what's in there. But that's my, super easy clear up, because I think it's really important to share with you that crafting is great fun. We all make a mess, but it's also really important to show you that it's easy to clear up, and you don't all have a Greg to help you clear up afterwards.
Aww.
And I do know how to clear up on my own, because he's not here all the time. He is at work normally during the day, and I have to clear up on my own. And so, I do all of these videos during the day, and, I find these easy ways to clear up. Okay, there is one piece of Gilding Flakes on his laptop. I got rid of it.
What about the other 4 bits that I can see?
Oh, Greg, they're tiny.
So...
Okay. So let's just do a quick recap of the techniques I showed you. So we started off doing the red line tape, and we talked about the importance of the surface sweep. Surface sweeps are awesome, well worth the investment. They're really inexpensive too. And of course, you still got that 15% off code for 15% off the UK/worldwide and USA stores until May 31st. Check out the description. If you're on YouTube and you're on a mobile device, you might need that arrow in the bottom right hand corner. Just hit it and the description will expand for you. If you're on Facebook, it might be above, below, beside me. But take advantage. It's an awesome coupon code. It's better than the Tonic Craft Kit code. It's better than the Perks code. And it's off the whole store. It only excludes kits and gift cards. So we talked about the difference then if you burnish your finger versus burnishing with a brush or your Nuvo brush. Then we worked on using the different pens for the Nuvo glue pens, whether you want to do the fine for the hello or the medium or the thick.
Somebody sneezed colour burst.
Interesting.
That would end up everywhere, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Not sure about that.
It's colour, but that's the one that the water activates. That is actually way, way harder to clear up than these.
Although we have found some ways to contain said mess. We also talked about how you can write with these, and then if you've got pretty handwriting, you can then gild it. We talked about how you can use these as an ink pen, ink pad even. You don't just have to do a stripe. We also talked about mixing colours, and that you can use them on your stamps as well, so then you can gild any stamp. We also talked about using the Nuvo Deluxe with your silicone spatulas, and use the silicone ones because if you use the metal one, you will never ever get this stuff cleared off. It's an absolute pain. If you use the silicone ones, I just literally wiped it off with my fingers, super easy. And then you can stencil any die cut, any stencil, anything, and gild it afterwards. Super fun. Then we worked on using the adhesive sheets, and again mixing different colors, and I showed you if you get like a big patch that you didn't want, how you can hack that and make it look more mottled. So again, just some hacks to go around that. And then again, working with foam tiles to create different ideas gives you a little bit of dimension, and also you can use tape runners. So lots and lots of ways to use Gilding Flakes and how to clear it up afterwards and not make a mess and be clearing it up for the next week either. So I hope you found tonight's live useful. I hope you got some top tips. I hope you're going to try out Gilding Flakes and you don't now think that you are going to be clearing them up for the next 10 years either, because honestly, if you work with the glass mat, work with some of those tips, grab yourself some unscented dry sheets, you really can keep the mess down, I promise. Just don't turn the fan on, don't sneeze, don't have the cat.
The cats would be a bad thing.
I think they're the three things.
The cat's probably.
I think we're there. Yeah, I know 3-year-olds because I can just imagine Tilly doing this. But other than that, I think you'll be good. Okay, so let's pick some winners, of course. All right, so let's do our Facebook winner. I'm going to load up all the comments. I'm going to look away. And Carmen Sachs was the closest. So Carmen is our Facebook winner. Well done, Carmen. Congratulations. Send us a message with your snail mail address and we'll get a goodie bag out to you. Someone said they're trying to order now, but the discount code isn't working. It definitely is because I checked it before the live. I did double check it everywhere. It doesn't show on the cart screen. It shows when you get to checkout. So fill your cart, click checkout, and then it should show for you. If you're having any issues, you can email support@thehedgehoghollow.com. We will happily help sort everything out for you. But the codes definitely were working. I was checking them for you earlier. So that's that one. And then let's do our YouTube one as well. Oops. So I'm going to load up all those YouTube comments. Greg's got his handy dandy new mouse.
It's a good mouse, isn't it?
No.
Hey!
And
Sad in digital.
101010 or 1111. And our YouTube winner is Nancy Williams. Congratulations, Nancy. Send us a message with your snail mail address and then we'll get a prize pack out to you, which will not include Greg's new mouse, don't worry, or any kind of digital speak in there either. Hopefully you will enjoy all of these tips and you'll be enjoying them and having fun. Don't forget to tag us in your pictures at Tonic Studios USA, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all the usual stuff. We will aim to go live over the weekend. We are in the process of building another studio, so it's kind of a little bit up and down. We did release the second part on YouTube of getting on a design team, so go check that out. It's a really cool video. I did 2 parts. The first one was my experience of getting on a design team. It was something that someone had requested. Well, actually quite a few of you had requested. And then the second part was how we select design teams. So whether that's the Tonic design team, the Hedgehog Hollow design team, we kind of let you in behind the scenes of the selection process, you know, things we look for, things that lots and lots of people do wrong, broken links, linking to the wrong things, those kinds of things. So if you are looking to get on a design team, build a blog, build a YouTube channel, go check that out. There'll be 2 more parts in that series as well. One of them is on starting a blog and the other one's on starting a YouTube channel. Go check those out. Lots and lots of useful information in there for you as well. We'll be back 8 p.m. Eastern next week. As I say, it'll be a YouTube premiere. We'll have a brand new Tonic product to share with you. It will not have been seen anywhere else before at all. So join Greg for that as well. I will be in Chicago, but I know he'll look after you.
I'll do my best.
In fact, we'll be flying back from Chicago while this is going live. So join him for that. And then I will see you the week after with the next Tonic kit. Hopefully it'll be here by then. So lots of fun things coming up. As I say, don't forget to take advantage of your 15% off codes. We'll hope to see you over the weekend. We've also got some other fun tutorials coming up. And then tomorrow night on the Hedgehog Hollow YouTube channel, we have a really great collaboration with Simon Hurley where I made some backgrounds and he's going to be turning them into cards. So stay tuned for that as well. We'll be using that Tim Holtz glass mat again. So join us then for that. We'll see you soon. Happy crafting, everyone. Don't forget to hit those subscribe buttons, likes, thumbs up, all those fun things. Hit the join buttons and don't forget to nominate us as well. We'd love it if you did. And don't forget to shop till you drop with that 15% off. They don't come up very often. And we'll see you again very soon. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye.